Before we move on to the next performances, we will have Shri Kripa come on stage to talk about Sangeet Bharati.
I think we need to give one more huge round of applause for all of the artists and the great MCs, Jahnavi and Sindhu. I wanted to share a few words about Sangeet Bharati and what it stands for, what we do, and what we hope to do. Our aim is to keep the passion of Indian classical art alive, and there's 4 key principles that we follow: practice, perform, promote, and unite. Sangeet Bharati is conducting yearly examinations for music students at all levels. They were conducted for the first time last year, and the difference in the students that took the exam was very, very clear. By show of hands, how many parents here have had to remind your kids to practice singing or playing? Yeah, my own mom has told me repeatedly to practice, and it's become a routine at this point. And I've noticed there's 2 kinds of parents. One that goes, "Kanna, please practice," and then there's another one that goes, "If you don't practice, I'm going to tell your teacher." But it shouldn't be that way. For a student, it shouldn't be out of fear. It shouldn't be like they're doing it for someone else. It should be like they're doing it for themselves. And so these examinations allow the students to develop a motivation. They become self-motivated. They want to practice on their own. They take the initiative to practice. And it's happened to me, and it's happened to the other students that took the exam as well. My mom was going to come and tell me to practice as per usual, but I had already gotten my Shruti box out and started practicing. And it's a very, very obvious change. And as they take the exam every year, they continue to practice, they continue to learn, and continue to get better and better. And that fulfills the first principle, practice. Next, we have perform. These examinations are judged by extremely qualified professional artists, and they have given hundreds and hundreds of performances. They are very experienced. And going to these people and showcasing your talents to them allows you to interact with them, and the feedback that they give you can help the students thrive in future performances. If a student passes a Sangeet Bharati exam, they're given the opportunity to perform at Sangeet Bharati's Navaratri Sangeet Otsav, and they can implement the tips that they learned from those great experienced musicians. That's perform. Next, we have promote. In this country, American Indians are the future of classical music and classical art. They are who are responsible for continuing to uphold this divine art form. Currently, Sangeet Bharati is working with FISD to give students the opportunity to earn high school credit for the many years that they've been learning and practicing their art form. And although at first the students might just take the exams for the certification or the credit, over the years they'll develop the passion to continue to practice this divine art and promote it and be proud that they're learning it. And that's promote. And finally, in my opinion, the most important principle is unite. These examinations unite students in ways that you could never imagine. These students, a few days before the exam, get together, have a cram session, and they revise. Do you remember the mudra for this composer? Oh no, I forgot to review the mudras. And it's so heartwarming to see them get together, interact with each other, learn from each other, and support each other. And this bonding only comes through a full-hearted passion for this Indian classical art. And the most beautiful part is they may play different instruments and they may be at different levels, but they're still bonding over their shared passion. Now, I've mentioned the word levels several times now, so I want to elaborate on that. Currently, Sangeet Bharati's examinations have 2 levels, junior and senior. In those, the junior level has 4 sub-levels, and the senior level also has 4 sub-levels. These levels are cumulative, which means once you take the exam for one, the next exam covers new material as well as old material from the previous exam. So you never lose touch of what you learned before. If a student feels like they aren't prepared for the final exam in the junior or senior level, they can always start at lower sub-levels and build their confidence, and the fees are adjusted accordingly. When a student passes the final exam of the junior level, they receive a scholarship of $1,001, and when a student passes the final exam of the senior level, they receive a scholarship of $2,501. For additional details about the exam, including registration, you can visit Sangeet Bharati's website, which is down there on the banner, and also like and follow their Facebook page for updates on when to register and other deadlines and important information. I want to invite some students who are going to take the exam and have taken the exam last year. So Shreya, Swaroop, and Jahnavi, if you could please join me. Yes, I also took the third level of in junior and passed it. And in my opinion, the exam is a truly worthwhile experience, and it's something that every student should go through. So I'll start with Shreya, who's going to take the exam this year. What are your thoughts on the examination?
Honestly, since this is the first time I'm going to take the exam, I'm a little nervous, but I've allocated a few hours every week to try to practice and be prepared for the exam. And I'm going to be taking the level 2 exam this year.
And what about you, Swaroop?
Yeah, so basically what Shreya said, I've already taken the second year exam, so I already had some experience on that. So there's nervousness is still there, but like I feel like I'm ready for the third year exam, and I think it'll be a good experience.
And lastly, Jahnavi?
I also took the second level last year, and this year I will be taking the third one. The experience was different, it was new, but it was also really good. As Sri Kripa said, like the things that we learned long time ago, Sarle verse, Janti verse, Alankaras, all that came back to me, and I learned like a lot of new other things. So,
Thank you so much for your feedback. We'd like to invite Anjali ji to give a few words.
I will take this moment to say a few things about Anjali Ji Patel. She is one of the senior-most HSS Karyakarta in the United States. She was the HSS Sevika Pramukh and currently having the Daitva Saha Pramukh of Kutum Prabodhan. Kutum Prabodhan is a Sangh program to help lead families a happy life. Recently, Anjali Ji agreed and came on Sangeet Bharati Scholarship Selection Board.
Namaste. First of all, congratulations to all those who have already performed. It was awesome to sit there and relax and listen to music. And I know a few more are performing, so congratulations to them as well. Here, I heard the Guru is Krishna Prasad ji, and you are playing flute. What else can be the better combination than having Krishna Prasad ji to learn the flute? My humble pranam to all gurus who teach these small kids the art, which is divine. Music is divine. It's said that when words end, at that point music starts. I heard mom telling the practice, 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 and hearing few words from mom to practice. But I feel all these music classes are not just a class where you engage your kid for some time or say that, learn something. I feel music is much more than that. First thing is divinity, and particularly for flute, you learn which is pranic energy. I'm sure all your teachers must be talking to you about breathing exercise for playing flute or for any music form. Calling it a breathing exercise versus calling it something, a pranic energy, which comes from, because if pranic energy is not there, then we won't be here. So music is that pranic energy. One thing you guys are learning, if you're learning any any raga, then you heard this swar is vadi, this swar is samvadi. And some swars are not there. What it is? Something you are learning knowingly, unknowingly in your life as well. That something is important, something is more important, and something is not needed. If you learn the same tactics you are learning in the music and use it for your life, it might be a little different. For parents also, if you are looking at it just as a class, as an art, which you can perform, but this is not probably just performing art on stage, but it is a performance in life as well. For me, what music is something which is when you listen to it, you just feel yourself, you just feel good. And while learning all that, you learn to adjust, to work with others, because you are not performing alone. Many times you are accompanied by a lot of instruments. You might be the main player, but somebody is supporting you. You cannot be alone. You cannot perform alone. And same thing is true for life. I look at all this, a performance is where you can make others happy and you yourself be happy. What else is goal of life? Being happy. And that is music. Namaste.
I request Prasad uncle to give the gift to Anjali ji. One picture over there. One picture.